My first month doing sales, I closed $92,000 at a 78% close percentage. And I think fundamentally the reason I was able to do that and set a company record was because I just knew how to sell more types of people. Because all the other closers were just running through a sales script, a sales process. But what happened when they came across an aggressive prospect or an A-type personality who pushed back at their questions? Well, they couldn't close the deal. They couldn't make it work. So in this video right here, I'm gonna show you guys how I learned to raise my status in the prospect's mind on my sales calls so I could close an abnormal amount of deals and even show you guys a clip of me doing it on a call. So the first principle to understand is that rapport is only built in two ways. And number one, it's by having a similar style of communication to each other. So for example, if you go to a bar or a club or whatever and you see a guy, a girl, they're chatting it up, you'll notice that their communication style is very similar. Like they'll start nodding their head in the same way and they'll start matching each other. They're speaking at the same pace or maybe the same tonality. Maybe they use the same types of words. Their communication styles are very similar, and so it's very easy for them to fall into rapport. And then the second way of building that rapport is by having an aspirational style of communication. So communicating in a way that they look up to. Now, personally, I'm not a master communicator, and I have to assume you probably aren't either. So let's stick with that first bucket. And so the thing is, if the prospect on the call is very direct, they're an A-type, they have an ego, then we have to match them by that same principle. We have to be very direct towards them again. And the reason why is because if they're direct to us and we shy down, we back down. We're just kind of in a corner all shy. What it does is it sets a frame in their mind of they can bullshit us, they can not respect us, and we're fine with it. We'll just move on. And so they'll keep on doing it throughout the entire call. And then what happens when we get into objection handling and they're just lying to us? Now all of a sudden we can't be direct because we haven't been the entire call. And so if we're direct, they're going to be aggressive back and we're never actually going to close that deal. So how can we actually use this principle? And the first way is very often with an A-type personality, we'll ask them a question and they will bounce back. They'll just give a rebuttal. They won't actually give us a straight answer. They'll be very closed off. And so we have to push back again. And so an example would be at the beginning of a call, we might ask like, and do you know what you're looking for? Like when it comes to growing XYZ business? And the goal is we want to find out why are they on the call? What problem are they dealing with? How can we help them? And very often an A-type personality will be like, oh, I'm just looking for more information. Like you called me. I just want to see kind of what's going on. And so if we just let that go and we're like, okay, that's fine. And we move on, again, it will set that frame in their mind and they will respect us less. And so what do we have to do? We have to re-ask the question in a slightly different way. So for example, we might be like, okay, no problem. And I guess just so I can kind of give you like the right information though, like what possible help would you really be like looking for like within your business so that you could kind of scale it? And what this does is it shows that we're pushing back. It shows that they have to respect us. We're not just going to shy down and back down and let them run all over us, but rather we're going to stand up for ourselves and it will make them give us the right answer. And so then that means throughout the entire call, they'll respect us a lot more because by us being more direct, we fall in sync in a more similar style of communication. Now, the second way that we can use this principle as well is just in the way that we speak, right? Because if somebody's being very direct towards us, they're very confident, they're kind of egotistical, and our body posture, the way we talk, we have a soft tonality, we're kind of shy, we have our shoulders hunched over, immediately they're not going to respect us, right? Because there's a study done, 7% of our communication is our words, 93% is our tonality and our body posture. And so if we're speaking with someone very direct, we have to communicate in a very direct style back. And so we'll have our shoulders standing tall, we'll be standing straight, and we'll be speaking in a way that's not trying to like get around the main subject, but very straight to the point, right? And so right here, to give you an idea of what that actually looks like, I'll play a recording from one of my calls where the guy comes onto the call and he's very like, I don't know why I'm here. Like I'm just shopping around. I don't know. Somebody else called me up. I don't really know their name. They just told me to get on the call. And then 30 minutes in, I'm already being very straight with him. I'm being very direct with him and he respects me a lot more for it. And then another 20 minutes later, he's making the payment and he's joining the program. And so pay a lot of attention to the way that I communicate, my body posture, my tonality, so that you can replicate that in your own calls. Because I guarantee you, if you do that, your calls will end 1,000 times better. You'll make more sales, more commissions, drive more revenue, and you're ultimately going to be more successful. But yeah, bro, I guess in regards to the inner circle, Matt, Tony, Josh, and I guess like, do you know what you're looking for?
No, I don't really know. I'm just here because well, the guy that called me, I don't remember his name. He told me that you could possibly help me just figure out some things on the agency. I know about the coaching program. I know that it's like $7K. But yeah, I'm just shopping around, checking out what you have.
And I can tell you that the mindset that you were thinking with 30 minutes ago is the mindset that when I tell you what we have to offer and I know 100% that it will help you, we'll be like, oh, let me think about it. Give me 48 hours. Give me 2 days. Because it's not about the 48 hours. It's about the type of person that you are. And the type of person you need to be to have success, to be able to sell other people, is a type of person that commits, that takes action and pushes forward. Because if you can't do it, your prospects can't either.
Oh yeah, I get you. What you're saying.
Are you with me on that?
Yeah, I'm following you.
And so making that change though, like why would it be important to you to actually make that change and start thinking with the mindset of a successful entrepreneur?
Because then it will be like do or die, right? So yeah, I mean if I didn't accomplish the goal, or if I didn't went and did the thing that I wanted to, then nothing happens, right? So I stay in the same place. And now I have that awareness that about my whole situation. So yeah.
Okay, let's go through this onboarding. Wait, did you pay it?
Yeah, I just paid.
Okay, I just got it. Perfect. So the second thing that we can do on every sales call to raise our status in the prospect's mind is called a status frame. And most people think they know what a status frame is, but in reality, they have no clue. And it has two main purposes. And the first one is the obvious thing, to raise our status by basically setting ourselves as an authority and basically showing them that we're leading the call, that we're gonna be the ones asking the questions and directing it. But the second purpose, which is very obvious and most people just don't really think about it, is that when prospects get on a call, they genuinely don't know why you're asking them questions for an entire hour. Most of the time, they're just like, why am I getting questions asked for an entire hour? And so what we have to do is explain why before we start asking the questions. And that's the purpose of a status frame. And so I personally have to credit Jeremy Miner because I use his status frame, and it goes somewhat like this. As soon as we get on the call, we're like, hey, what's up? Small talk for like 30 seconds. Then we're like, yeah, so it looks, John, like you booked a call on my calendar about like possible ways to scale XYZ business. So I'd say kind of like the first part of this call is really more for me to find out kind of like what you've been doing as of now to like get more clients, get more deals and scale the business, and kind of the results you've been getting from that versus maybe like where you're wanting them to be, just so I can see kind of what that gap looks like. And then at the end, if it makes sense on both sides, then we could talk about possible next steps. Would that help you? And they'll never say no because it's very like disarming. It's very like nonchalant. It's not very serious. It's not combative. And so they'll always be very straight up with us and be like, yeah, that's perfectly fine, right? And now they'll understand why we're asking them all these questions. And so it's much easier for us to just go down that path and figure out all the information that we need to get. And I promise you, if you do both of these two steps on every single call you have, you will never again have a problem with ego prospects. You'll never have a problem with setting your status, your frame on a call. And you'll be able to close way more deals as a result because of it. And I can tell you because I look young, I am young, I'm selling to people doing multi-million dollars a year sometimes who are much older than me, and I'm still able to have my status be higher than theirs in the call and be able to sell them as a result of it. So go try these things out. Bye.